Hi, I'm Reva with Quality Sewing and Vacuum, and today we're going to take a specialized look at the Cutie. Now, the Cutie, to catch you up if you don't know what it is this wonderful frame that is right here set on a normal folding table. You can set this on your kitchen table, your dining room table, heaven's sakes, your coffee table, whatever you want to set it on. And it's going to allow you to use your machine for free motion quilting. And today we're going to talk about Rulerwork. Now, I do want to mention something else about the whole Cutie thing. It's really awesome. The machine sets on a platform. You can probably see it right here. And so this machine just lifts right off when it's time to do regular sewing, and you can set it on the platform and then you do your stitching. When you're done, take the machine off the platform and put it back where it lives normally, and then this can go in a closet or slide under your bed. But we've had a lot of questions about doing ruler work with the Cutie, and it's completely possible. So on your machine, you're going to want to do a couple of things. One, you're going to want to make, if you can, use your accessory tray that slides on. The one that holds your bits and pieces for your machine. Go ahead and put that on your machine because it will give you a wider base to work with the rulers. And that's important when you're doing ruler work, is to have space. The other thing that you need to have is a ruler work foot. And I happen to be on the Bernina today, so I do have the Bernina ruler work foot. But if you don't have a Bernina, there are ruler feet like this one from Westerly. This is a starter set for a high shank machine, which this would be. And here is a ruler foot, and it actually comes with a ruler, which is really awesome. Now, depending on your machine, you're going to either get this one, a high shank, you might need a low shank, or you might need a medium or a special. So on our website, if you're at all curious, go ahead to qualitysewing.com and it will show you right there what ruler foot works for your machine. And if you have any questions, just give our online team a call, and the number 800 number is right there on our website. Okay, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to know about quilting, free arm quilting, whether you're on a Cutie or whether you're on any machine. So one is that we want to control our threads, and I'm going to show you that in a second. But I also want to talk a little bit about the rulers and the anatomy of the ruler and the foot. So when you're working with a designated ruler foot, any ruler foot, it has this nice collar or lip around it that's thick. So that helps keep the ruler from slipping and sliding where it shouldn't go. But the diameter of that circle is designed to be 1/4 of an inch away from center needle position for when you're doing your free motion ruler work. So that way the edge of this foot can rest along the edge of the ruler, and you know that it's 1/4 inch away from the needle where it's stitching. So that's important to know, okay? And that's whether you're using a manufacturer's ruler foot or one like the one from Westerly. Okay, so now let's talk about controlling our threads. So I have my thread here, and I'm using this beautiful orange because I want you to be able to see it. And I'm going to position my machine right over the point in this pieced area. And I'm going to put my needle down, and then I put my needle up, and then we're going to go ahead and swipe just like dental floss. And then I can grab the bobbin thread as well. So now I have both threads in my hand. And then I'm going to be able to just stitch a couple of stitches to anchor that in place. Okay, I do personally prefer to stitch with needle down in ruler work and also in free motion quilting, because that way if I stop, and when you stop, and you will stop, it will hold its place for you. Okay, so I'm going to place this ruler along this edge because I want to quilt along this this intersection here between the two pieces, but I'm going to place it 1/4 inch away, so I'm not right up on the line. Now, if you're using templates like this, they make things like stable tape and everything so it keeps it from slipping, which I do not have with me today on this ruler, so we're just going to hope that I don't slip, but I guarantee you I probably will. So you can stitch using the on-off button. You can use the cruise control if you have purchased that along with the Cutie. I'm just going to use the foot control today, and I'm simply going to stitch and move my machine along that line and stop when I get there. Now it's not perfect, but that's okay, right? And so you can see here now that I'm maintaining, I'm going to come up a little bit more. I'm going to maintain the same distance all the way down, and not only do I have some fingers on the ruler, but I also have a couple of fingers off onto the fabric. And this is where your accessory tray for your machine is going to come in very handy, because if you have that accessory tray for your machine on the machine, it gives you a wider table. So if you can see on here, I don't have that tray on, and I only have this much of a tabletop, so it doesn't give me much stable surface. If you have your table on, or I'm sorry, your accessory tray, it gives you a much broader table, and that should serve you very well. Another thing to know that when you're stitching is you don't want to push down really super hard, because if you do, you're going to restrict the movement of your machine. Now go at the space that you're comfortable, just maintain a consistent speed. And so when you're ready to turn a corner or reposition, you stop, and then you can start up again. And I've run out of room because I'm sitting right in front of the machine in a weird spot. So let me keep going. Okay. And then, so now, you know, you can continue all the way around, and if you want to do curves, now that we've done some of the basics, I am going to do some of the fun stuff. So let me move over more to a neutral space, and I'm going to show you how to use the curve. So if you want to go from one point to another but have a curve, you can use the curved portion of the ruler, and then you can make a perfect curve. Now, one thing to know, is that there's lots of different rulers that you can use for your machine. And your goal is to simply be consistent. Let me raise that foot up, and just be consistent with speed so your stitches are the similar length. Now, this isn't perfect. I'm not overly proficient with rulers, but you get better with practice. So if you're using a matching thread, that's going to help camouflage any inconsistencies that you may have, and you're going to get better. You're going to feel more confident. But it's really awesome to use rulers with your quilting, because you know, I'm really not comfortable doing free motion quilting. I feel better on the Cutie doing that than I would with a regular sit-down machine, but it is really awesome to utilize the different shapes and the different rulers, because you're running the foot along the edge of the ruler, so it's like training wheels. So it's really quite fun. And if you want to, of course, I would control my threads, which I have not done here, but that's okay. I'm going to start stitching anyway. Let me get that thread underneath my foot. There we go. So if you want to do free motion and you want to do micro stippling, you can very easily do that on the Cutie. And it's so much easier, in my opinion, to do that on the Cutie than it is to do it in a conventional machine, because the fabric is being held in place for you. And then you're just drawing. It's easier to draw with a pencil, right, like we're doing with the machine, than it is to move the paper. So it's very, very simple to create our quilting. So whether you're doing rulers or if you're doing free motion quilting, give the Cutie a try, because it will turn your machine into a quilting machine.